Zocom, short-sighted fools. Their fanatical devotion to driving Tiberium from the Earth renders them antithetical to all that Nod stands for, all that we are. Zocom are a blasphemy, a threat beyond even that of their taskmasters. Zocom, short for Zone Operations Command, is an elite division within the Global Defense Initiative's military. According to the intelligence database, Zocom has three primary goals. Their peacetime mission was threefold: to improve GDI's military capabilities within areas of high Tiberium infestation, to establish beachheads within such areas, allowing reclamation to commence, and to protect existing reclamation operations from any attacks, be they terrorist or mutant in origin. The origins of Zocom date back to some time after the events of the Firestorm Crisis in the early 2030s, and before the start of the Third Tiberium War in the year 2047. During that time period, GDI made a change in its priorities, shifting from operations focused on countering the Brotherhood of Nod, who had just been defeated and recovering from the Second Tiberium War, to the containment and reduction of Tiberium around the world. Tiberium infestation had gotten so bad that it was threatening to make the Earth's atmosphere completely toxic to humans. While GDI had scientists dedicated to deciphering the Tacitus in order to help with Tiberium abatement, they also realized that having a branch of the military that specialized in actually going into zones of high Tiberium concentration was needed. Thus, Zocom was born. The general tasked with leading this new division would be the venerable C. Elena Renteria, a highly decorated war hero, and one of the first females to achieve the rank of general within GDI. According to the intelligence database, beyond her reputation as a smart, no-nonsense battlefield commander, Renteria's unique upbringing provided insight into the task at hand. The daughter of Mexican nationals, the general spent her childhood in the Tiberium wastelands of Central Africa, while her parents, both GDI scientists, attempted to understand and contain the deadly crystal. After witnessing firsthand the devastating effect of Tiberium on the human population of those areas, Renteria dedicated the rest of her life to its elimination. Zocom troops and personnel are some of the most well-trained and battle-hardened in GDI's military. This is due to the fact that they find themselves typically conducting operations in or around red zones. Red zones are the most hostile operational environments on the planet. The abundance of Tiberium fields, the toxic radiation, the intimidating terrain, including chasms and cliffs, the terrible weather, and the huge Tiberium glaciers all contribute to make these hellscapes a nightmare for field commanders. While the standard GDI military certainly has methods for navigating and fighting within these zones, such as with the use of jump jets and V-35 AUX transports, these technologies don't address the average soldier's mental fortitude to operate in them for an extended period of time, or to be fully prepared for any environmental hazards that they may need to suddenly deal with at a moment's notice. This is why GDI prefers to let Zocom handle such deployments. Few would deny that Red Zone service is perhaps the most demanding of any GDI assignment. Most soldiers cannot endure significant Tiberium exposure for more than a few weeks at a time without risking serious physical and psychological damage. There are exceptions, however, men and women who find the experience of living and fighting in a near-alien environment to be an energizing, engaging experience. These individuals quickly find themselves assigned to Zocom, and few, if any, would be happy anywhere else. Due to the importance of Zocom's mission and the hazardous environments that they are required to operate in to achieve that mission, they are allowed access to unique weapons, vehicles, and other technologies not available to other divisions within GDI's military. By far, the technology that Zocom makes the most use of is sonic weaponry. These weapons are highly effective against Tiberium, able to break down the crystals at the molecular level and shattering them. However, this technology was also proven to be effective against hostile targets trying to disrupt Zocom operations, such as marauding mutants or Brotherhood of Nod insurgents. One of the vehicles that sees much use in Zocom's arsenal is the Zone Shatterer. This is a modified version of the standard Shatterer tank, which is basically a mobile version of the Sonic Emitter defensive turret, utilizing GDI hover tech. This is one of the main vehicles used to clear large swaths of Tiberium fields, but its sonic turret can also be used to damage enemy units and buildings. In fact, the Zone Shatterer is able to overload its turret, firing an ever more powerful blast than its standard attack. The cost of this sonic blast, however, is that it renders the vehicle inoperable for several seconds. The vehicle also needs to be supported by other infantry and vehicles due to its low armor. But for ZOCOM, this vehicle effectively acts as its only artillery unit, as they don't use the GDI standard Juggernaut artillery platform. Another vehicle that's been modified to use sonic weaponry is the ZOCOM Orca. The aircraft is mostly the same to its standard counterpart, that being the Orca Mark III. The key difference being that instead of being outfitted with 6 air-to-ground missiles like the standard Orca, the ZOCOM version is equipped with 5 sonic grenades which deal splash damage, making them more effective against enemy infantry or vehicles that are in close proximity to each other. Due to the specialized nature of sonic weaponry, this means that the ZOCOM version of the Orca is more expensive than the standard version. However, the aircraft does have the ability to be upgraded with ceramic armor. This specialized armor allows not just the Orca, but all aircraft in the ZOCOM arsenal to be more resistant to damage, whether it be damage from hostile fire or from the destructive ion storms that naturally form in the red zones. Of course, it's not just vehicles that are equipped with sonic weaponry, but also infantry. Most notable in particular is the famed Zone Raider. To quote from the GDI archives, "Sleek, agile, and heavily armored, the Zone Raider was initially intended to function as a lighter, speedier anti-air counterpart to GDI's bulky Zone Trooper Elite infantry unit. With the establishment of ZOCOM, the Zone Raider's role was evolved into that of a first response red zone scouting unit, with Tiberium-resistant armor, sonic grenades, and stealth detection capabilities integrated into their core armor design. As per the description, the Zone Raider is well equipped for operations in red zones. The standard jetpack allows them to cross the large chasms and cliffs, and the small anti-air rockets on their shoulders do allow them to fend off attacks from aircraft, though they shouldn't be too reliant on them as they are slow firing. Just like their Zone Trooper counterparts, Zone Raiders can also garrison Hammerhead helicopters and fire their sonic grenades from them, which are devastating against infantry. As for other infantry under ZOCOM's command, such as the Riflemen, Missile Squads, and Grenadiers, they are able to supply them with Tiberium field suits. These suits provide them immunity to Tiberium exposure, allowing them to cross Tiberium fields unharmed, as well as provide a little more resistance to other forms of direct damage. And of course, ZOCOM comes equipped with their own modified version of the Harvester. As its name suggests, this Harvester is equipped with a rocket turret instead of a machine gun turret. Since the ZOCOM Harvesters typically find themselves in Tiberium fields that are more hostile than others, they need to be better armed to defend themselves. The rocket turret is able to fire at both ground and air vehicles, though the fire rate is slow. By far the most powerful weapon in ZOCOM's arsenal is the Mammoth Armed Reclamation Vehicle, also known as the MARV. Other GDI divisions are capable of fielding this massive tank, but it was originally born from the same initiative that led to the creation of ZOCOM. The MARV combines heavy firepower with impenetrable armor and Tiberium processing. When it comes to Tiberium abatement, the MARV has no equal, able to harvest and process Tiberium without the need of a separate refinery structure to return to. Its main armament consists of a 3-barreled sonic cannon, but it also comes with 4 upgradable hardpoints, which can be upgraded based off which infantry unit garrisons the MARV. Riflemen infantry upgrade the hardpoint with a machine gun turret. Rocket soldiers upgraded to have rocket turrets.
Pay attention. Yes, sir.
Grenadiers give it grenade launchers. Snipers provide a sniper nest. Engineers give it a repair node, which allows the vehicle to self-repair any damage it takes over time. Zone Troopers provide railguns, and Zone Raiders provide sonic turrets. Since ZOCOM don't have railguns in their arsenal, their MARV can't be equipped with them. But if for some reason all the MARV's weapon systems are down, it can always result to just simply crushing all vehicles or infantry that stand in its path. The Marv also has its own structure that it is built from, that being the Reclamator Hub. Due to how powerful and expensive the Marv is, GGI Command only allows one to be deployed to the battlefield at a time. As powerful as the Marv is, it does have a few weaknesses, such as its slow movement and turret rotation speed, and the fact that it is such a large and obvious target. Though it will still take a considerable amount of firepower to bring down, making it truly a force to be reckoned with. While ZOCOM has taken part in various missions since its establishment, there are a few notable events that stand out. The division's greatest accomplishment has to be the founding of New Eden. This was a region of Germany encompassing the cities of Munich, Stuttgart, Cologne, and Bern. That was the first region to be reclaimed from Tiberium using sonic technology. The success of this reclamation proved to people around the world that it was possible to take back the Earth from Tiberium infestation. However, it also made ZOCOM one of the Brotherhood's greatest adversaries within GDI. One of the main battles between ZOCOM and the Brotherhood occurred in Africa, which has been a stronghold for the Brotherhood for many years, but ZOCOM, equipped with the Marv, threatened to break that stronghold. The battle that followed saw the Brotherhood take down a Marv, which would allow Nod engineers to examine its wreckage. They needed more information on the vehicle, however, and proceeded to assault and capture one of ZOCOM's Reclamator hubs, allowing them to download and examine the vehicle's blueprints. This led to the Brotherhood constructing their own counter to the Marv, which they called the Redeemer. The battle would rage on, with ZOCOM bringing 2 more Marvs to the battlefield, but Nod forces, backed by their new Redeemer, would ultimately win the day and destroy them, taking heavy casualties in the process, but allowing the Brotherhood to maintain their foothold in Africa. During the Skren invasion of Earth, the aliens targeted highly populated blue zones around the world, and unfortunately for ZOCOM, their greatest reclamation zone, New Eden, was no exception. Though GDI forces were able to defeat the Skren, the damage that had been caused was so devastating that New Eden would once again be taken over by Tiberium. The last known battle between ZOCOM and Brotherhood forces was in the year 2052, at the Rocky Mountains complex. Acting on orders from their leader Kane, the Brotherhood would send their 2 most elite divisions, the Black Hand and the Marked of Kane, to assault the complex and recover the Tacitus. Elements of ZOCOM, with the assistance of another GDI division called the Steel Talons, provided support for the local GDI garrison defending the complex. Though Nod would go on to ultimately breach the complex and retrieve the Tacitus, this defeat for ZOCOM wasn't as devastating as the loss of 3 Marvs in Africa during the Third Tiberium War. Though ZOCOM has gone through a series of defeats in the last few years, their resolve to rid the Earth of Tiberium has only grown stronger, almost to the point of fanaticism, ignoring other GDI officials' calls to simply contain the spread, believing instead that they should be outright eradicating it. For the men and women of ZOCOM, this is their mission, and they will be the ones leading the charge to take back the planet.